Hi, I'm Lisa Quait, and welcome to my midweek episode of Real Women's Stories. I'm 50 years old, I'm a mum, I work full time, and I'm a life coach. And I feel that by sharing our stories, we can help each other. We might be on our own life journey, we might have things going on in our lives, on our paths that might be different, but we do go through the same experiences. And I feel that by sharing our stories, we can learn from each other, and also we can know that we're not alone. And that's one of the biggest things in life, that we all go through similar experiences, feelings, emotions, feeling lost at times. So I really hope that this episode, I can share some of my life practices and they can help you on your journey. So this week we're going to be talking about menopause. In my previous episode, I interviewed Lindsay Leicester. Lindsay is a private menopause specialist. She worked at the Newson Clinic, one of the world's leading menopause specialists. She's now got her own private practice, and I had the pleasure of interviewing her in my previous episode. And the question was, menopause, does it change who we are? And we came to the conclusion that yes, it does, because our bodies go through changes and then it affects our emotions, our feelings. We have lots of symptoms, both physical and mental, throughout the stages of the menopause. There are 3 stages: perimenopausal, menopause, and postmenopause. I think I'm in my menopause, but I don't know yet because I'm on some medication that have actually stopped my periods. But it starts with perimenopausal. Now, Lindsay started her perimenopausal stage at just 35 years old. So most of us think that we go through the menopause at 50, but actually our hormones start changing at quite a young age. So I think it's a really good idea, if you feel that you're going through a couple of changes, like I did. I started probably around when I was about in my 40s, 42. I started journaling. So I journaled over a 12-week period, and I started writing down all the symptoms that I was feeling, and the ones that were repetitive and they kept showing up each of the 3 months. I realized they were connected to my hormones. I had hair loss, my hair started falling out, I had mood swings, but they weren't the normal premenstrual mood swings. They were like, I'd gone into this madness. I just went into these rages and I could not control my temper. Other symptoms included for me dryness, both down below, which we spoke about in the episode with Lindsay, also my skin. And I'm suffering with it at the moment. I continue to take antihistamines. Itching literally keeps me up all night. I feel like I've got my just things crawling all over my skin and I'm constantly itching. There's lots of other symptoms that women experience, aches and pains. People get frozen shoulders. I had intense pains, bladder, gut health, constipation, or you go the other way where you just can't stop going to the toilet. And that affects us in our lives because then we're worried about when we go out. I don't want to wear those little pads that if I sneeze and a bit of pee comes out, it's embarrassing. It's not nice to go through. So we've talked about perimenopause. Menopause is when you're in your menopause. That's when your periods stop. As I said, I don't know if I'm in that sort of stage yet because I'm taking some medication. I've got the Mirena coil and it reduces your periods or can stop them. I had very, very light periods anyway, so I don't know. And then you have postmenopause, which is when you've gone through and your hormones start balancing out. I'm not in that stage yet, so I can't give you too much information. You think you're having a healthy life and you eat all the right foods, but then suddenly you start gaining on weight. So I really had to pull back and look at what I was doing with my diet because it clearly wasn't working for me anymore. But what I would say to you, look at what you're eating. And also, if you do have the symptom of itchy skin, have a look up high histamine foods. Because for me, I'm histamine intolerant, which means that I can't eat a lot of the healthy foods. Strawberries, avocados, spinach, mushrooms, all the things that I would thought were healthy, for me, create that itchiness. It's like an allergy. So when you start going through your perimenopausal stage, apparently the hormones change your gut health and change how you process food. And I can't process high histamine foods. So have a look at your diet. Coffee, sugar, alcohol are the three things that they really go against us when we're going through the menopause. Sugar, obviously, for our weight. Alcohol, an occasional glass of wine is fine. I try to have times where I don't drink, or I limit my drinking to one night a week. But I do find that when I have alcohol, I have a really bad night's sleep and I feel very dehydrated. So try and cut back on that. Coffee, I have herbal teas in the morning. My first drink of choice is a herbal tea and water. And then after that, I'll have my coffee, and I will allow myself to have 2 coffees a day, but they'll be drank before, they'll be taken before probably 1 o'clock. So that shouldn't affect my sleep. Mindfulness apps are absolutely fantastic. There are loads out there. You can search for them at the App Store. You can go online and have a look. I use Gabby Bernstein's app. I really find her meditations short and sweet. I'm very, very time precious. She delivers some really great 2-minute, 5-minute, 10 minutes. You can even listen whilst you're walking. I think she does like a walking meditation. Try and bring people into your world. Let them understand you're not going mad. You might have some madness sometimes, but the menopause is real. They're real symptoms. It's a real condition that women go through, and we could start having these hormone changes quite early on. Everyone might be different. We're all different. We might have all different symptoms, but you're not alone. And some people may go through the menopause in a big way like I did, and some people may not have any symptoms. But it's good to understand it as women, because we can pull together, we can help each other. That's, for me, one of my biggest take-homes, really. And that's why I wanted to do this episode on menopause. We have got an email address. If anybody wants more help or wants to chat to me, or indeed Lindsay from our previous episode, and if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it, because it's really interesting. Lindsay really covers a lot of topics within that episode. And also it's a bit fun. We kind of talk about vaginal dryness and farting. So the email address where you can get in contact with me is therealstoriespodcast@gmail.com. Send me your thoughts, your feedback, any questions you've got. If you want any specific information, Lindsay and I can get together and share that with you too. If you like what I'm doing, if you like the Real Women's Stories podcast, if you could leave us a review and give us a rating, because if you do that, then we know that you're interested. And then also write some comments. Let us know if you liked the episode, what you liked about it. If you want to hear about other topics, give us a rating, give us a review. And if you do want any more information, email me at therealstoriespodcast@gmail.com. And I will see you next week for my next episode of The Real Women's Stories. Have a fantastic week.